Some photographers focus on celebrities. Others are famous for shooting babies. But this photographer has a special touch with people and their pets.
There's such a bond there. There's such a pure soul to a pet. It's about that relationship.
How does he get them to do what he wants? Do pets really look like their owners? Bob Brown with a man who adds another dimension to the family album.
Most of us try to look just right when someone is taking our picture, and even then we're usually not satisfied. I mean, with me, the hair is out of place, the makeup isn't right. But not everyone is so fussy. Not the subjects you're about to see. No matter how their pictures turn out, they never complain. And there's a good reason why, as Bob Brown shows you now.
Maggie, give me your ears, baby.
He is the Dr. Dolittle of animal photographers. He talks to animals in several unique languages.
When I'm photographing a client with their animal, a lot of that time, if I'm playing with the animal or saying silly things, it's really to relax the client. Hey, Trouble.
It's the clients who pay fees of $1,000 and up per session to get Jim Dratfield's artful take on their pets. The pets couldn't care less about lighting and angles. That's what this former actor likes about animal models.
I mean, I've never had, for example, a dachshund tell me, you know, their snout and profile really, really looks bad. Can you just cover me from this angle? That's not so true with the humans, however.
In addition to the private jobs he's hired to do, Dratfield, who is 44 years old, has traveled the world shooting animals and the ways they reflect different cultures. He has published a half-dozen books of photographs, many of which, like this essay on horses called The Quotable Equine, match the unspoken wisdom that the fictional Dr. Dolittle saw in the eyes of animals with wisdom from the world of humans, such as, "What we love, we shall grow to resemble." St. Bernard said that long before a dog was named after him.
Well, people a lot of times say to me, don't you find that people look just like their pets? And I always say, sometimes. All of these animals have great personality and great character, and they're beautiful in their own way, because they just pour out and give you their personality without you having to do very much.
Some people like to dress their pets for photos, but Dratfield says that's not the largest part of his work.
I tend to do a lot of nude animals. I tend not to do a lot of dressed animals, but, you know, if that's what the client wants, then I'm up for doing whatever. I once photographed a skink lizard, and one was pregnant, and she was very demure, very lovely, but the male skink lizard wanted to take my finger off.
It's a little more unusual, too.
We watched Dratfield shoot pets for clients from coast to coast. At this sprawling estate in New Jersey, businesswoman Anita Smith had a bird who was temperamental.
Oh, nice. Nice. Little romance here. Okay.
A Russian wolfhound who was loving.
Oh, that's excellent.
And a horse who was restless.
All we need is that split second. It's all illusion.
Dratfield accommodated them all.
Trying to choreograph this with a horse is not an easy thing.
I think he's a little closer.
And have the dog, who had never apparently really spent any time with this horse, which I didn't know about, made for an intriguing afternoon.
And when the horse added some extra scenery.
Do we have any way to clean this up here?
What do you just move?
Well, I mean, you know, unless you think it's, you know, an artful moment.
So rare that he behaves like this.
It was definitely an experience.
Come on, Lil.
In Hollywood, Dratfield's clientele includes the actress Laura Flynn Boyle, the owner of 5 dogs, including a new puppy. Wherever he goes and whatever type of animal he shoots, he says, what he tries to focus on is the relationship between the human and animal companions.
I had never met her before, and whether she was an actress or not, it's about that relationship. I mean, to be honest with you, I was more focused on the dog.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
You see some of these things, and they always look posed or trite, and it just, from looking at his book, I just knew it would be a really relaxed sort of shot.
Really?
There's such a bond there. that I think that if I can express that and get that, or get them just to focus in on that, then the shoots really go smoothly.
Dratfield has seen a lot of fancy neighborhoods since he started his business 10 years ago, a profession he came into as a fallback against the first one he chose.
Why else would I ride in this garbage truck?
Dratfield started his career as an actor.
Drop it, chump.
That's him in his mid-20s getting arrested in a 1985 TV series called Hollywood Beat.
Possible fractured femur, contusions, and lacerations.
He also appeared in St. Elsewhere and on Broadway. It was a shot he designed to send to casting directors of him and his Akita that encouraged him to try animal photography. Back in New York in the early 90s, in a career slump working as a waiter, he displayed some of his work on the walls of a restaurant.
I waited tables on a literary agent, and she looked and saw the work on the walls and got very interested, had an idea for a book.
He got a contract almost immediately for the same concept that has characterized most of his books since: animal photographs that illustrate a broad range of human thought. For instance, this picture from a book called Underdogs is accompanied by a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt: "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Dratfield has also turned out collections of great pictures with terrible puns. This shot for a book on dachshunds will be called Dog Training. One of the first things you notice in his photo sessions is the chaos. The animals are regular household animals. They're hardly ever trained to do this, but the secret is to try to make it look as if they're trained. What's the easiest animal to film?
Well, the answer to that is there is no easiest animal to film, and I never know what the situation is going to be like when I get there. So the easiest one is one that is well behaved, but even then you just don't know what you're going to get.
If you could just help me down with the doggies, we're going to.
And the owners, the ones who pay $1,000 and up, depending on the amount of time and the number of animals, often have ideas of their own. Gail Mendelson of Hastings-on-Hudson, New York, has 2 Chinese cresteds named Sushi and Muffy.
Dogs with head in toilet, okay.
One of her ideas was to shoot them with their heads in a toilet bowl.
I mean, do you think it's too cute, that idea?
There are people who have a very set idea of what they want, and I go with it. I mean, it's for them, and I want them to be happy with it.
That's it for that shot. That was a good idea.
It's still.
Do you ever get desperate during a shoot?
I mean, I'll wait it out. I never base my shoots on time, and I'll wait out an animal.
Hello!
And if to certain people some animals might look bizarre or ugly, Dratfield has a politically correct term to use instead. He calls them animals of character, and he says he likes them best of all.
I have people coming up to me saying, I have the most beautiful, or I have the perfect one of this breed. When you see this animal, you're just going to die to photograph this. And the truth is that if they told me their animal was the homeliest, I'm actually probably more intrigued by that kind of a photo shoot. There's such a pure soul to a pet that I'm amazed sometimes what I do get from these.
If nothing else, those final photos prove that there is a kind of invisible order to chaos, even if it's only for a split second. And if there's really no telling what the animal is thinking, Dratfield's concept is that sometimes they help us get in touch with what we're thinking. Like when your career as an actor hits the wall and you discover that the publicity shot that finally resulted in regular work was the one you took with a dog.
When my dog passed away, I realized that this dog left a legacy. I mean, I have a career because of that dog.